Dear all, first of all, Thank Tuani Hai 47 would like to thank you for watching the channel. Here are the highlights of October 13th, 2025. First news. Vietnam, North Korea signed a multi-field cooperation agreement. On October 11th, 2025, in Pyongyang, General Secretary Tu Lam led a high-ranking Vietnamese delegation to attend the 80th anniversary of the founding of the Workers' Party of Korea and had important talks with leader Kim Jong-un. The two sides signed many new cooperation documents, opening a period of extensive cooperation in key areas such as defense, diplomacy, health, and science and technology. According to KCNA, the two countries agreed to promote high-level delegation exchanges, strengthen coordination at international forums, and share experiences in socio-economic development under embargo conditions. The visit of the Vietnamese delegation not only has diplomatic significance, but also affirms that the traditional Vietnam-North Korea relationship is being renewed, becoming more substantial and effective. International media assessed this as a remarkable milestone in the relationship between the two countries after more than 65 years of establishing diplomatic relations. 2. Vietnam's GDP growth could exceed 8% in 2025. Speaking at the regular government meeting in October, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh said that Vietnam's economy is maintaining an impressive growth momentum with an increase of 7.85% in the first 9 months of the year. If macroeconomic factors are stable, GDP for the whole year of 2025 could exceed the 8% mark. According to the Ministry of Planning and Investment, the main driving force comes from exports, industrial production, and strong FDI inflows in the fields of green energy, semiconductors, and electric cars. Many international organizations, such as the World Bank and ADB, also raised Vietnam's growth forecast to the highest level in Southeast Asia. However, the government still warns of risks from energy price fluctuations and global trade tensions. The message emphasized by the Prime Minister is maintaining macroeconomic stability, ensuring people's lives, a commitment that shows that Vietnam is aiming for sustainable and inclusive growth. 4. Passengers stuck for 14 hours because of Vietnam Airlines flight from Singapore to Hanoi. More than 100 passengers on Vietnam Airlines flight VN660 from Singapore to Hanoi experienced a sleepless night at Changi Airport because the flight was delayed continuously for nearly 14 hours. According to passengers, they did not receive a clear notice about the reason for the delay, were only provided with temporary food, and had to wait until the next morning to fly. Vietnam Airlines later apologized and said that an unexpected technical problem related to the cockpit electronic system forced the airline to delay to ensure safety. Although the problem has been resolved, the incident has sparked debate about how to serve and support customers in emergency situations, especially when Vietnamese airlines are expanding their international operations strongly. 5. Honda faces big challenges as Vietnam switches to electric vehicles. Reuters news agency recently published an analysis stating that Honda's position in Vietnam, the world's second-largest motorcycle market, is clearly shaky. With Hanoi's plan to ban petrol-engine motorcycles in the inner city after 2026, people are gradually switching to electric vehicles such as VinFast, Yadia, and Bike. This rapid change has forced Honda to reconsider its product strategy. Although it still accounts for 70% of the market share, Sales of its petrol-powered scooters have dropped sharply in the third quarter of 2025. Experts say that this is a positive signal for the Vietnamese automobile industry, affirming that the development orientation of made-in-Vietnam electric vehicles is on the right track. 6. International Conference, India-Vietnam Buddhist Heritage, Connecting Two Cultures. At Nalanda University, in India, the International Conference, India-Vietnam Buddhist Heritage, took place with the participation of scholars, monks, and researchers from more than 10 countries. The event was co-organized by the Vietnam Buddhist Research Institute to honor the long-standing spiritual and cultural connection between the two countries. Many presentations emphasized the role of Buddhism in forming East Asian cultural identity. At the same time, proposed to increase academic exchanges, student exchanges, and develop spiritual tourism. The Vietnamese representatives said that this is an important step to promote the image of the country and people of Vietnam as peaceful, humane, and rich in spiritual traditions. 7. Opening of the Government Party Congress for the 2025 through 2030 term, accelerating reform and digital transformation. On the morning of October 13, 2025, in Hanoi, the first Government Party Congress for the 2025 through 2030 term officially opened with the participation of 453 delegates, representing more than 209,000 party members from party organizations throughout the government system. This is an important political event, marking a new stage in party building in state management in the context of the country entering a period of strong transformation in digitalization, administrative reform, and deep international integration. In his opening speech, Politburo member and Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh emphasized this Congress is not only an occasion to summarize the past term, but also a time to clearly define the strategic vision and aspirations for national development in the next 5 years. The focus is to continue building a creative, honest, action-oriented government serving the people and businesses. The political report presented at the Congress stated that in the 2020-2025 term, the government has achieved many important results: stable economic growth, controlled inflation, progress in national digital transformation, and continued promotion of anti-corruption work. However, there are still many challenges, such as slow institutional reform, cumbersome administrative apparatus, and labor productivity not commensurate with potential. In the new term, the Government Party Committee has set 6 key groups of tasks, including 1. Promoting administrative reform and streamlining the apparatus. 2. Strengthening digital transformation in state management. 3. Developing a team of professional, ethical public servants. 4. Improving coordination between ministries and branches. 5. Promoting green growth and circular economy. 6. Continuing the fight against corruption and negativity. The Congress is expected to take place over 3 days, from October 13th to 15th, 2025. After the discussion and reporting, delegates will elect the Government Party Executive Committee for the new term, with the expectation of bringing a younger, more innovative, and more decisive leadership team in the context of the country's rapid transformation. 8. 3.6 magnitude earthquake shakes Quang Ngai on the morning of October 13th, 2025. Early in the morning of October 13th, 2025, an earthquake measuring 3.6 on the Richter scale occurred in Kon Plong District, Kon Tum Province, causing slight tremors in many neighboring areas, including Son Tai and Batu Districts, Quang Ngai Province. According to the Institute of Geophysics, this is the 3rd earthquake recorded in this area in just the past 2 weeks, showing that seismic activity is increasing significantly in the central region. Specifically, the earthquake occurred at 7:52 a.m. at coordinates 14.77 degrees north latitude and 10.35 degrees east longitude, with a focal depth of about 8.1 kilometers. The level of tremors was clearly felt by people in highland communes such as Meng Bút, Tra Sing, Quang Ngai, and part of Kon Plong District, Kon Tum Province. Fortunately, according to initial statistics from local authorities, no damage to people or property has been recorded. Mr. Nguyen Swanang, director of the Institute of Geophysics, said that the Kon Plong Son Tai area is located on the weak to moderate active tectonic fault zone, but has tended to wake up in recent years. Earthquakes in the area are small, below 4 on the Richter scale, but their frequency has increased significantly from 2 to 3 cases per year to 10 to 15 cases per year. This shows that it is necessary to closely monitor to assess the ability to accumulate seismic energy, he said. The Quang Hai provincial government has directed the Department of Natural Resources and Environment to coordinate with the Institute of Geophysics to install additional seismic measuring equipment and promptly update information for people in the risk area. The meteorological agency also advised that, although small earthquakes are not usually dangerous, people in areas with steep terrain and weak ground should be cautious, especially when accompanied by heavy rain, as landslides are likely to occur. According to experts, the earthquake phenomenon in central Vietnam in recent years is partly related to climate change and the impact of hydroelectric reservoirs in the area, causing changes in geological pressure. However, professional agencies affirm that there is no evidence that this area is at risk of a large earthquake in the near future. The earthquake on the morning of October 13th is a reminder of the need to strengthen seismic research and improve early warning capacity in Vietnam, especially in areas that were previously considered safe. The Institute of Geophysics said it will continue to monitor the situation and release detailed data in the next few days. Serious traffic accident in Lao Cai. Passenger bus lost control, 2 people died. At around 12 noon on October 13, 2025, a serious traffic accident occurred on National Highway 4D, passing through Tong Sen, Commune, Bat Sat, District, Lao Sai Province. A sleeper bus with license plate 24B007.65 running on the Hanoi Sapa route suddenly lost control and crashed into the embankment on the side of the road, killing 2 passengers on the spot and injuring more than 10 others. According to initial information from the Traffic Police Department, Lao Sai Provincial Police, at the time, the passenger bus carrying about 35 passengers was traveling from Lao Sai City to Sapa. When reaching the sharp turn at KM 90+700, the driver is said to have lost control of the speed, causing the vehicle to skid and crash into the cliff. The strong collision caused the front of the car to be severely deformed. Many passengers panicked. Some were trapped inside. Immediately after the accident, the authorities of Bat Sai District and local people quickly arrived at the scene to rescue and take the injured to Lao Sai General Hospital for emergency treatment. By 2 p.m. the same day, the rescue work was basically completed and traffic on the route was smooth again. According to the emergency doctor at Lao Sai Hospital, among the hospitalized victims, 3 people suffered severe head and chest injuries with a poor prognosis. The 2 deceased victims were identified as a 45-year-old man and a 36-year-old woman, both residing in Hanoi. The police are coordinating with the transport unit to contact the victims' families and clarify the cause of the incident. Also on October 13, 2025, in Da Nang, another accident caused public grief. An 11-month-old baby, the victim of a collision between a car and a motorbike on Vo Chi Cong Street on the morning of October 12, 2025, did not survive due to severe traumatic brain injury. The incident caused many shares on social networks calling for increased awareness when participating in traffic, especially at densely populated intersections. According to statistics from the National Traffic Safety Committee, in just the past 3 days, the whole country recorded more than 60 accidents, killing 28 people and injuring dozens. Experts say the main causes are still high speed, lack of concentration, and slippery rainy weather in the northern mountainous region. Laosai Provincial Police said they will recheck the entire journey of the vehicle, the technical condition of the vehicle, and the alcohol concentration of the driver. The preliminary investigation results are expected to be announced on October 14, 2025. 10. Ving Group proposes selling electricity directly to people, a turning point in Vietnam's energy market. On October 13, 2025, Ving Group, through its member company VinEnergo, officially submitted a proposal to the Ministry of Industry and Trade to be allowed to sell electricity directly to end consumers instead of having to go through the Vietnam Electricity Group, EVN, as per the current mechanism. This proposal, if approved, is considered one of the breakthrough steps, opening up a new development direction for the Vietnamese electricity market in the energy transition period. According to the proposal, VinEnergo wishes to pilot the model of selling electricity directly from producers to consumers, or DPPA, in a number of urban areas and industrial parks invested by the group, such as VinHome's Ocean Park, Smart City Hanoi, or VinFast Technology Park Haiphong. Enterprises believe that this model will help reduce intermediary costs, optimize operational efficiency, and encourage people to use clean energy sources. A representative of Vingroup said, "In the context that Vietnam is aiming for zero net emissions by 2050, allowing private energy enterprises to supply electricity directly to consumers will contribute to promoting healthy competition, while reducing the load on the national transmission system. This is an inevitable trend that many countries in the region, such as Thailand, the Philippines, or Singapore, have implemented." Currently, Vietnam's electricity market still operates under a monopoly buying and selling mechanism through EVN, making electricity prices and supply largely dependent on state management. Many energy experts believe that Ving Group's proposal, if implemented, will motivate private enterprises to invest more heavily in renewable energy, especially solar power, wind power, and storage batteries. However, some experts also express concerns that the opening of the electricity market requires a careful roadmap and a clear legal framework to avoid disrupting the transmission system and affecting national energy security. The Ministry of Industry and Trade said it will carefully consider VinEnergo's proposal within the framework of the project on developing a competitive electricity market for the 2025-2030 period, expected to be submitted to the government in the fourth quarter of this year. If approved, this will be the first time a Vietnamese private enterprise is allowed to supply electricity directly to consumers, marking a turning point in the process of liberalizing the electricity market, a sector that is considered sensitive and subject to strict control. Experts said that this move could open up a new race between domestic and foreign energy corporations in gaining market share in Vietnam. 11. Vietnamese platforms remove Let Me Shine movie due to map violating sovereignty. On October 13, 2025, a series of online platforms and movie distribution services in Vietnam, such as Vion, Galaxy Play, FPT Play, and Netflix, simultaneously removed the foreign TV series Let Me Shine after discovering that its content contained an image of the illegal 9-line map, seriously violating Vietnam's sovereignty over its seas and islands. The incident was discovered on the evening of October 12 when many viewers reported on social networks that in episode 5 of the movie, there was a scene where the main character worked in an office with the map showing the 9-dash line covering most of the East Sea. This image is considered propaganda for China's illegal sovereignty claim, which has been repeatedly rejected by Vietnam and the international community. Immediately after receiving the feedback, the Department of Radio, Television, and Electronic Information, Ministry of Information and Communications, requested online movie service platforms to review all content with map elements and temporarily stop broadcasting the movie Let Me Shine to assess the level of violation. By the morning of October 13th, all major platforms in Vietnam had officially removed the movie from the system. A representative of the Ministry of Information and Communications said, Vietnam resolutely opposes all acts and cultural products with content that violates national sovereignty in any form. Online movie distribution businesses are responsible for carefully censoring before releasing them in the Vietnamese market. The incident quickly attracted public attention, especially in the context that Vietnam has repeatedly faced foreign cultural products that incorporate the cow tongue line element. Previously, films such as Abominable, 2019, Put Your Head on My Shoulder, 2021, or recently Barbie, 2023, were also handled similarly for the same reason. Experts say that the quick and decisive response of platforms in Vietnam this time shows a change in the cross-border content management mechanism, especially after the cybersecurity law and new regulations on online services were tightened from the beginning of 2025. This contributes to strengthening national sovereignty in cyberspace, while raising awareness of content censorship among international publishers when operating in Vietnam. Currently, Let Me Shine is still appearing on some platforms abroad, but episodes related to the controversial map have been blocked or edited. The Ministry of Information and Communications affirmed that it will continue to coordinate with international partners to request thorough handling, ensuring that no more infringing content appears in Vietnam. 12. The North is about to welcome heavy rain, warning of the risk of landslides and flash floods. According to the National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting, from the night of October 13 to October 15, 2025, the North will be affected by a low-pressure trough combined with strengthening cold air, causing widespread heavy rain, mainly concentrated in mountainous and midland provinces such as Lao Cai, Yingbai, Ha Giang, Duan Quang, Cao Bang, and Bac Con. It is forecast that rainfall will generally range from 100 to 200 millimeters, in some places exceeding 250 millimeters in 48 hours, accompanied by strong thunderstorms, gusts of wind, and a high risk of flash floods and landslides, especially in areas with steep terrain, weak soil, or areas that have been eroded by Storm Matmo in recent days. Experts warn that this is a period of strong and prolonged rain, which can cause many small rivers and streams to rise suddenly, threatening the safety of mountainous traffic routes. The meteorological agency also said that the northern delta and north-central regions will have moderate rain, with some places experiencing heavy rain, especially in Hanoi, Ninh Binh, and Thanh Hoa. From the afternoon of October 14, the temperature in the north may drop by 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, with the weather turning cold at night and early morning. Localities are advised to proactively evacuate people in high-risk areas, reinforce infrastructure works, and closely monitor flood warning information. The National Steering Committee for Natural Disaster Prevention and Control has asked the northern mountainous provinces to maintain 24/7 forces, check the safety of reservoirs and small hydroelectric dams, and warn people to limit movement through streams and steep passes in the coming days. This is considered the second heavy rain in just 1 week, following the impact of the recent storm Matmo, causing many localities in the north to continue to face the risk of landslides and localized flooding.